Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. So as you can see, I'm packing the load here. So I figured what better time than to talk about my pregnancy's journey thus far. So besides a lot of the symptoms, I just kind of developed a rhythm of what to notice and be very aware of like my body and stuff. And so, sorry, I see all these little floaties. I'm in the sun because it feels really good and I'm not outside. So I just found a rhythm at the end of the day. You need one, especially if you know your body very well, or if you don't know your body very well. That's the opportunity for you to get to know your body. So as I finally came out with everything, of course, like they say in some articles, if you guys read them, people tend to start looking down. Now I'm a very small person for me to be about 5 months pregnant. Very small for my size. I hit my third trimester on Christmas Eve. And so people are like, oh, you're not pregnant, or you're barely showing. It's like, yeah, but everybody's different sizes. This is my first, so you just never know at this point. There was something else I wanted to put out there. Oh, so in the beginning, pregnancy app. I found that was the main thing I found super helpful. Besides all the links and things like that, the pregnancy app. So I was given a few options, and I deleted the text message on accident, so I don't have the list of what they were. But the one that I have basically gravitated towards the most is Pregnancy Plus. Pregnancy Plus is one of the apps that I follow. Now, the one thing I really enjoyed about it was the fact that you can see a real life baby. It kind of just brings it more to life for you, and it actually helps you attach yourself more to the idea that you're growing something inside of you. Okay. That is my favorite app by thus far. I tried a couple and I was just looking at the features. They all have the similar, like most of the same layouts. They're not too different, but that one was my favorite. Not only do you see a real life baby that you can kind of touch and you can hear the sounds of maybe what they're hearing inside of you, you also can see the comparison of like a fruit or a little animal, or some type of object to see like what size is your baby. It has a growth chart to kind of show you like where you probably should be on average around that time frame. You can take pictures of your baby bump and post it on there. They also have a ton of articles that you can look at, and you can like them or not like them, whatever you want to do. But I just found it very helpful. Me and my sister actually are 3 days apart pregnant. So finding people to bond with now. A lot of my friends have kids, and I was the only one that didn't for years. So I'm 30, about to be 31. So for 7, 8 years, I've been the only one without any kids. Everyone else has had kids. And so some of that exchange, you can tell, kind of shifted as far as responsibilities, how often they go out, et cetera, et cetera. So now that I am pregnant, I have gravitated naturally towards some people that already have kids. It just gives you guys something to talk about. They also seem to be very helpful when it comes down to you trying to prep. Like I'm trying to do nursery prep right now. Super helpful. So Pregnancy Plus was a good app. Finding someone that has similar experience to you is a great option. When I mentioned earlier about the water, now these are for those that are able to afford it. Alkaline water and coconut water are super expensive. My little sister does the Instacart stuff, and so she was able to go to Costco for me and around the first trip around and buy me the big boxes of both. I drink these faithfully. The reason why I gravitated towards bottle of water, I was at work and I typically would just fill my water up with the filtered water there at the office. However, number one, I work in the clinic, and you always want to make sure the water is clean. Sometimes you guys really never know where their water has come from or what they've done or testing. I work in healthcare, so I know a little more about certain things, and I'm just, I'm more cautious. And then number two, I drank the water after I became pregnant and I felt very sick. And I did it a couple times where I had a bottle of water, I ran out, I refilled it with regular filtered water, and I felt very sick. So I stopped drinking sink water, I stopped drinking filtered water. It wasn't my favorite anyways, but this is it. Cold or room temperature, I'm just fine with this. I'll start off cold and I'll leave this next to my bedside. And literally this is 33.8 fluid ounces. I need about 65, 70 ounces of water a day. So 2 of these will be good for someone. two of these in a little, maybe some juice or something, will be good. But this right here, it's the Kirkland signature brand of it. It doesn't matter what brand you get. It is alkaline. It has a 99.5 pH. Now, I don't really necessarily care for the pH stuff because once you open it or it's been on the shelf for so long, you don't know how much pH is really in the water once they bottle it. It was this much at the time of bottling, but it doesn't matter. It's just alkaline water, really just filtered water in general. Something else, I don't have the coconut water up here with me, but I got the big thing of organic coconut water. I love it. My hubby steals my water and he drinks it when I'm not home. So have enough on hand, because if you are also a very healthy eater or you like coconut water, somebody else in the household may steal it. So, you know, the kids, they ask like, oh, can I have your water or can I have this? And I'm just like, no, it's for me. Something else that I've done, something I was advised to do by my resource, was to get a pregnancy journal. Now, this is the journal. Comes with this cute little strap. I'll have to put the link in the description when I'm done with the video and stuff. But this is what I use. I know it's backwards on here, but it's my pregnancy journal. Yeah, I put in my own picture of the baby, of my first ultrasound on here for the sonogram. I just found the one that I liked. And literally this walks you through some other photos, but it literally walks you through everything, like your first trimester. It takes you through your second and third, any planning, any extra details. You can put pictures up here, big arrival, but I have already journaled in here. They have little slots for you to drop any other pictures that you've gotten. So like those pictures in envelopes that I still have, I'll put them in there. But I literally have jotted in here. This was very calming for me. This was very, very calming. Why? Because I was able to sit down and think about my experience. I was able to sit down and hone in on what I have been feeling. And honestly, this was the best idea someone told me. I told my sister to go ahead and get one. Sometimes people can't afford things. So if you know someone that's pregnant at the same time as you and you know they may make less than you, just give them a nice gift. This will help. Especially if they don't mind journaling. I don't mind journaling. Sometimes if I find myself just sitting there, I'll grab it and just start writing stuff down. I've already filled up my second trimester from what I remembered, and then next is third. So once I get to my third, which will be in December, I'll kind of write down any changes. It kind of asks you like, how are you feeling differently than the month before? Ask you about any changes in your body. So I put on here like, I feel stretched. So let's talk about feeling. Oh, and one more thing before I start talking about that. I also got one of these from Amazon. This I think is so cute. I have it next to my bedside right now with the crown, but it's gonna probably come in here in the nursery. But it says coming soon. So this is the very first scan at 11 weeks that I got, my little peanut. And then this is my 20-week scan. And so then it says, hello, baby. So this is going to be the picture that's taken when I'm going to say the picture that I take when I've just given birth. I'm not going to do a professional one. I want one just coming out the womb. Hello, baby. This is our first peek of you. This is my first peek. My second peek. I'm gonna have one more just to make sure he's growing in the right direction, because they said he was a little small for about 3 weeks ago, but then this one's gonna be, he's here. In another video I'll post, I'll talk about water birth, because I do want to have a natural birth. So I will say also, you don't have to think about it initially, but early on be thinking about where you want to go as far as OB care, because that matters. I wasn't a fan of my first OB. I'm in the middle of switching right now because, and I've started with a second location for those who are able to. Now I get VA care, so they're able to pay for my care, but I also have insurance, so I just kind of do what I need to do. But for those of you who cannot afford it, try to find someone that at least listens to you. Even if they stick you on facility, if you find someone that listens to you and listens to what the mother wants. As we all know, we were in the midst of the pandemic, right? And there's a lot of changes with employment and COVID vaccines and things like that. I'm a firm believer, not even just spiritually, but just as a whole, for, we are attuned. I'm not putting my baby that's unborn subjecting them to anything that we have going on in the society as of right now before they have the opportunity to take their first breath. I don't want to. I'm not a fan of it. I've been trying to make sure I go out as natural as possible with this pregnancy. The most I take is a prenatal. I got away, I mentioned the horse pill earlier. I got away from that horse pill because it made me really sick, so I do the gummies. Now, one thing I did find out, because I also can't eat dairy, and there's also some of the things I don't have, calcium. I don't have that in anything that I take. It's not even in the prenatal, so I have to find it somewhere else. And then protein. Now, when I got my 11-week scan, or 20-week scan, and they said he was on the low normal side, they mentioned, the radiologist lady mentioned that it may not have anything to do with what I eat. That's not true. You do need to probably increase protein. They also tell you that in natural birth, increase your protein intake. So when I started to, I don't eat a lot of meat. I am vegetarian when I want to, but I'm probably on more of the pescatarian side. But for the most part, I don't eat a lot of meat. I do get a meal plan. I do get meal prep food shipped to me from Daily Harvest. And I get their boxes and I get their smoothies, and I get, so now I go more so, especially if you're at work and you're not at home, I take those to work. Why? Because it stops me from having to, number one, go out and buy something. It's convenient, it's right there. And so they have these harvest bowls, oat bowls, and they have like soups and stuff that I like to take to work, snacks. And then when I'm on my way home, I have flatbreads that I can just pop in the oven at 450, 20 minutes, and I have a snack to eat before dinner. So feed yourself, in other words, because that was one downfall I realized in the beginning, that I had nothing to just quickly grab and go, just throw it in, that was hearty and fulfilling. If I don't have a lot of vegetables and fruit, I feel horrible. So I try to make sure I have a smoothie, and I try to make sure I have some type of vegetable every day, to make sure that I'm giving myself enough nutrients, because if not, I can tell when I don't. On another note, I feel stretched. So for those of you who have already started to grow, I keep vitamin E lotion or some type of oils, and I always rub it on my stomach. I want to see, like, a lot of people are like, you're gonna get stretch marks. Now I have natural stretch marks. I'm curvy already. I'm not average size person, but I have hips and I have a butt, so I naturally have some stretch marks. Because I was very thin when I was younger as a kid, and then I just thickened up all of a sudden when I hit high school. So I have hips naturally, but I always feel pressure here. I feel pressure here all the time. I don't call them pains. People call them growing pains. I don't even call them pains. I don't even try to associate pain with it. It's a mental thing, so don't judge me. The reason why I do that is because I don't want myself to be turned off by the experience, where I think I'm just hurting all the time, or I'm aching and everything else. Those sometimes come with a negative connotation. Now, it's okay if you're hurting, you're hurting. So don't downplay it. If you're in pain, if you need to go to the doctor, go do that. For me, I just call them aches and call it a day. I'm cramping, I'm aching. I'm not in pain. I just feel my body changing or moving, especially after I eat, or especially if I go swimming. So that's the activity I do to work out, is swim. Speaking of food again, another thing that I just recently started doing was having something to snack on in my bag. Now, my spouse bought me this. It's a gluten-free, hopefully dairy-free. Typically, he gives me a lot of vegan, like, bars and stuff, because I'm trying to make sure that I not only get protein, but that I eat enough. And so he tried to get me some of that. It is a vegan bar, but even yesterday he got me a cookie, just something. I did find on Amazon this protein powder. I'll have to put a link in there. It's probably about $30. Now, protein powder, y'all, is not cheap, okay? It is expensive, but I bought two of them. I bought one that's chocolate and I bought one that's regular. The one that's chocolate, it says is good for you breastfeeding, kind of helping during pregnancy, during breastfeeding and whatever. So I use that, and I use another one. I'll have to show you guys the brand in a minute. I'll go get it. But yeah, so hydrate, have you some snacks and some food. Have you a cute little tool to journal and capture all the moments during your pregnancy. I just feel stretched all the time, depending on if I eat or how I'm doing. And it is what it is. As far as aches go, I didn't start having back pain. I drive a little bit of distance to work, but I didn't start having back pain until 22 weeks. And so now when I sit too long, even right now, when I sit too long, I start having pain in my lower back. I do have mild scoliosis, but I think it's just normal aches from sitting too long, from your your body kind of just like sitting down on each other, however you say it. And I did get a belly band. I don't have it on right now, but I did buy a belly band from Amazon. It's okay. The material sometimes does make me itch a little bit. You do hand wash it, but it is helpful when I'm sitting. And I also have like a pillow, so I'll show you guys here in a second of what that looks like. But the best thing that I did, honestly, to help myself, I sat on the floor and I stretched. I literally just made sure that I had stretched my back in places. I was, prior to me getting pregnant, going to a chiropractor, and I stopped. You can go to a chiropractor while pregnant. I only stopped because I wasn't sure, based on the tools that you see in the room, if that person was actually ready for someone that's pregnant, because he was from a different facility and I just didn't trust it. So, but if you guys are going to a chiropractor, continue to go as long as they specialize in pregnant women. If they don't put yourself in that. Don't do it. Besides stretching, I also walk a lot if I can. I swim. I found swimming helpful. I was jogging in the beginning, which I still can. I just haven't in a few weeks. And besides jogging, swimming is one thing I do at least once a week, because it just lets your belly kind of just flow. It just kind of lets you hang a little bit. Now, the lady told me, she was like, maybe you should go get you one of those bottoms that kind of cover your stomach, so it holds your stomach in place as you get bigger, but you're really small right now. So people may not know you're pregnant. And so make sure you tell them you're pregnant. If you are going to go and do some workouts like water aerobics or something, just tell them so they can make sure they tailor a workout for you. But I'm already a naturally active person. This is the most non-active that I've been. But I try to at least do something once or twice a week to make sure I'm still moving around, make sure I'm still stretching, etc. So I just want to give you guys now that, so this is kind of just really just kind of showing how I've progressed at this point. Being 24 weeks, I haven't noticed much changes. I am still feeling my normal like aches underneath my rib, around my rib cage area. He is moving around. I feel everything. I honestly feel like an alien. I felt like in the beginning of this pregnancy, like somebody lied to me. I was recording myself, just talking to myself about what I was experiencing while I was holding it to myself. And I was like, somebody lied. They told me that pregnancy is this. Everybody's like, oh my God. And it's not to downplay. I am so excited to have this baby. I want more than one kid. However, the beginning stages are not always that great. You're sleeping a lot. I'm a go person, and sleeping a lot for me was not what's up, but I literally couldn't help it. I really just went to bed, and the kids even noticed a shift in me being awake. They were like, you're sleeping a lot, but at the same time, I was outside playing with them, running around the house, playing catch, whatever it was. So they were like, you can't be pregnant, because you're doing all this. And I was like, no, I am. But in the beginning, so just listen to your body. If your body says lay down, honey, lay down. If your body says eat, eat. You will get headaches and migraines if you don't eat enough or don't drink enough water or don't have enough sleep. So those are just important to have. I also enjoyed bath time. I don't have to take a lot of baths like that, but when I got to sit down and just some water, oh my gosh, it felt so great. I've gotten to the point where I have to open up my legs wider just to put on my shoes or put my foot up on something to do that. This girl told me to go get me one of those grabber things to help me pick up stuff, but I ain't too pressed for it because I'm gonna use it once and never use it again. So if not, I'll just say, hey, call one of the kids or my man, come pick this up for me, whatever. They're super helpful as I'm getting bigger, but yeah, that's my journey. I am here. I am, once I figure out the baby's growing in the right direction, I have upped my protein intake. I make sure I'm eating enough. I make sure I'm drinking enough water every day. If I notice I'm not, I'm more so drinking water at nighttime. Yes, this will make you pee throughout the night. Oh, well, you kind of do what you got to deal with. And if you are working, what I am doing right now is making a pregnancy plan to be gone for a couple months. Now, unfortunately, we are in a society in America where we don't have maternity leave. Not for everybody. Now, if I was still in the military, I would. I'm not in the military anymore, so we don't. And so you just have to use up your time off leave accrual. And If your job allows you to also use like maybe short-term disability, if you find yourself have to be out a little longer, or maybe FMLA, I'm not sure which one, but those are options I have to explore with my job, just to make sure that I'm good to go, because I am a manager in my one position and there's not a lot of options for people to back me up if I'm gone. So teleworking, I already have it in my mind that I'm trying to give birth naturally unless something happens where I can't. But the birthing place that I want to go to is 15 minutes from my house, but I also work an hour from home. And so the last thing I want to do is be at work, my water breaks, drive an hour, and then drive another 15 minutes to go to the birthing location. Not ideal and very dangerous in my head because I've never experienced it before, but not ideal for me. So what I am planning on doing is the month of my due date is to stay home, do more things from the computer that I can. If I have any meetings I need to be at in person, those will be canceled. Anything that I lead at least, and if there's anything I need to be a part of, make sure they have teleworking capabilities. So we do have a conference phone line to call into. But for those of you who are in jobs that are just like their call centers or their restaurants, you can't help it but be gone. You can't cook from home and deliver. So you see what else options they have for you. If not, some of the disability options will be good if you've been working for a while, or if your partner allows you to stay at home while they work, do that too. But I am a naturally working woman. I get bored easy being at home for too long. Even when I left the military, I had nothing to do for a while. I gardened, I traveled, I went through ups and downs, stress, and I just said, I'm going back to work. So there I am, and here I am a year and a half later. So that's my pregnancy journey. Before I go, I'm gonna just show you guys a quick snippet of the, I did buy a pregnancy yoga ball. I've only used it a couple of times, but the kids are all over it, so I have to fight them off for it. My belly band that I have, and I think that was it. Oh, and the protein powder. So yeah, let me show you guys that real quick, and then we'll end this 30-minute video, so because I will talk y'all's ear off. The next video, we'll probably talk more about water birth and why I want to go that direction, and I'll just kind of add on to it. And then I do at least want to do one video of the nursery, so we'll talk about that too. Okay, so just inserting real quick. I'm not going to take too much longer, but here's the prenatal vitamins I take. This is Vitafusion. It says for moms and baby everyday healthy needs. Now some people, and it says it's gentle on the stomach, but I'm out of breath. This is what also happens when you're pregnant. You get tired so quick. Some people say that you can just take multivitamins and you should be just fine. I would just recommend you look at the ingredients on the back and see and compare it to what you need daily. Because at the end of the day, if you don't replenish it, your baby's gonna take it from you anyways. So this is really just helping you. Has like vitamin A through E, niacin, vitamin B6, folate, biotin, zinc, iodine, some fatty acids for omega-3s. And there was one ingredient they always said make sure it has in it, and I think it's like folic acid or something. I don't know. There's something they always tell you. Now there is no iron in this. There's no iron and there's no calcium. So if you want to get that, you'll have to also add in something else. Okay, so just be aware of that. There's no dairy, no fructose syrup, or none of that stuff. But that's what I use. Like I said, Vitafusion. You can use whatever gummy brand you find. I just found this one as the closest option. There wasn't much else at the store, so that's what I have. Now for protein powder, and I got the prenatals from, I think, Hy-Vee. But you go wherever you need to go to get some. Now I did buy this. This is called, this says Booby Body is the brand. Booby Body from Amazon. If I find the link, I'll add it in there. It's a superfood for super moms. I thought it was a pretty cute brand. That I was taking prior to being pregnant, but I bought more of it. Is Orgain Simple brand. Well, you guys see that there's 20 grams of protein in that. Has nuts and seeds. It's gluten-free for my gluten-free folk. It's also dairy-free, so that way I can actually have it. Because like I said, I'm gluten-free, dairy-free, so everything that I have, it has to be specific. It has almonds in it, pumpkin seeds, chia seeds, peanuts, things that I typically have on hand in the kitchen. That's in here already. And I just think it's, it's just healthy. So not everybody wants chocolate all the time, and it's hard when I buy fruit. I just buy fruit for smoothies for the most part, and it's very difficult to actually buy fruit and have a smoothie when you can't, when you have a chocolate protein. Chocolate goes a lot with like bananas, peanut butter, things like that, almonds, you know, coconut. So it's really harder to pair that with something. But if you just go for vanilla, I think that's what it is, a creamy vanilla with simple ingredients. You can put this in any of your smoothies and it just turns creamy and it's fine. So yeah, that's just what I take as far as just my diet goes. I'm just hoping that helps him grow because he was low normal. And so I'm just hoping that me upping my protein intake helps. I'll let you guys know in another video how that 4-week scan goes. Unfortunately, we have a funeral on the same day of that from a loss. So I may have to move it. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you was the belly band that I purchased. I got this from Amazon. I was really sketchy. It was either buy one from Amazon or buy one at Bye Bye Baby. I just bought one from Amazon. It's a Kea Babies, Kea Babies is the brand. And it says it's, you know, it's breathable. You kind of can see me through it a little bit. It's stretchy, soft material. They want you to hand wash it. But this helps me just to make sure, like, especially if I'm cleaning, doing a lot of stuff, sitting for a long time, I don't put it up here. I put it lower on my lower belly to help. And it's like it's literally just a back brace for pregnant women. If y'all want to be technical and real, it's a back brace for pregnant women. If you were not pregnant and you had a back brace, the only thing that would be missing is you won't have this part on there. But because we're pregnant, we have that part on there, but that's literally all it is. So if you find something unique or find something you can create, put together, cool. There's nothing else to it. It's just really stretchy. It's breathable and it's sturdy. I wear it under my clothes. And honestly, just a quick hack for y'all. For those of us who are still squeezing into our work pants or our jeans, like I have been, and doing the rubber band method and all that, or walking around with our flies unzipped, I put this underneath my clothes. The reason I do this is because if I'm wearing pants that are a little tighter around the waist, because this is on top of my belly, this acts as a barrier. That it's not pressing on my stomach anymore. It's pressing now on this and I'm not in pain or uncomfortable. So if you guys want to find something that helps you just get the pressure off, like get the pressure off from down here where typically most of your stuff is going to start sitting, or up here, I love this for that. That's literally what I love this for. The last item I'm gonna show you guys before I go, like I said, is my yoga ball. Now I got this to make sure that I'm able to stretch, and they gave us a little cute book that comes with it. Now for me personally, if you know how to stretch, you just kind of do that. This just helps out with some of that, but you have to make adjustments because you have something hanging between your legs now. Not like that, but you know, hanging between your whatever. Y'all know what I mean. You got extra weight in the front. So they have you open your hips wider when you're stretching and all that. But I use it a little bit. You can also do workouts on this, like dips and planks and stuff like that. That's safer for your abdomen. It's not putting so much stress on you. And this one is a 65 millimeter, I believe. They give you a little measure to go around. I got 65 and blew it up. Took a couple days and then I got lazy, so it took me a little longer. But this is by Baby Go UK. I got this off of Amazon as well. If you want a bit, if you're taller, like I'm 5'2", so if you're taller than me, you may want to go for the 75 size versus a 65. A 65 for me is just fine. I don't need something totally off the floor. And then just make sure that if you've never used a yoga ball before, start off on the floor and then try to, with like a blanket or something that kind of holds you up a little bit, but then move on to this. But do something simple. Like if you're just doing lunges with this, fine, whatever. But yeah, so that's my yoga ball. The kids can't stay off of it. And I've used it a couple times now. It's cool, it works. That's all I got. Long story short, but it was long. Please stay tuned for my next videos and I will see you guys then. And hopefully I have more to come with this little bump here, so.